By 103.8, this is your agenda programme. On the show today, we've got a big focus on Abu Dhabi's extraordinary property surge. Sales jumped by an astonishing 42% in the first half of this year. And the city is growing fast. I mean, that's the story behind it, ultimately. The population crossed the 4 million mark in 2024. And that means we are seeing demand for homes beyond the current supply. That's pushing up prices. But I want to know who's moving in. I want to know where they're from. Are they Dubai refugees? You know, people fed up with the traffic, deciding they want a sort of quieter pace of life? Or is it people from outside the country coming in? I suspect I know, but I want to find out, the facts. So I'm joined now by an Abu Dhabi-based recruitment expert. Jas Sanger is the managing director of Mackenzie Jones Solutions, based in Abu Dhabi, and joins me on the line now. Jas, thank you so much for your time. How are you doing? And have you noticed more people moving in?
Very well, thank you. Absolutely. The answer is, the stats you've mentioned are correct. We're seeing it, on the ground. More CVs, more inbound interest, more relocations, a lot of people moving out to the capital. It's a mix of people chasing opportunities there. And, I think it's just more attractive in career destination.
Yeah, so what type of roles are available? And I guess that plays into which sectors are growing in the capital.
It's a real mix at the moment. Everyone talks about construction's always going to be the biggest sector with all the developments, and technology is a big push for the Abu Dhabi government, I think. So it's healthcare, finance, technology, but construction being the largest in volume, and that's more the blue collar. But we're seeing that's opening up, white collar roles, project managers, engineers, sustainable consultants. But tech is a big thing at the moment. There's a massive demand for AI. Abu Dhabi wants to lead the forefront on that. So that's always going to be there. And ADGM is pulling in a lot of finance professionals at the moment. So a big, big push on finance.
Is it difficult to find people to fill the roles, or is it vice versa?
Yes and no is the answer. So it's a bit, volume is never going to be a problem about getting people there. The CVs are there, but the right skills, experience, the cultural fit is a bit more harder to find. The biggest challenge we're finding is it always going to be, data sciences, digital transformation, strategic finance. So those are competitive and hard to find roles.
If only I could do maths. I tell you, I'd be moving into a different profession, but I quite literally can't do maths. So I think the idea that I would in any way be an addition to any sort of coding team is frankly a joke. Where are you finding people? If you haven't got them here, you must be recruiting them from abroad. Where are they moving from? Because it's so hard to get into the demographics of how a city is moving, because for obvious reasons, they don't feel the need to tell us all the facts and figures.
Well, look, you said it, I think you mentioned it earlier, there's a big movement of people coming from Dubai moving to Abu Dhabi. So that's a big push at the moment. I know we kind of think everyone's coming from overseas, but there's a lot of movement where people want to get away from the hustle and bustle, I guess, of Dubai and moving to Abu Dhabi. And soon, I guess, Abu Dhabi will be that way as well, where it's, crowded and infrastructures, traffic, etc. But at the moment, as is always will be, there's always a big pull from Europe. And actually South Africa on certain, the healthcare sector is pulling a lot of people from South Africa. But Europe's always going to be there. But surprisingly, we have had people even move from Saudi to or even Qatar to Abu Dhabi now. So
that's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, particularly because Saudi was always considered, a source of really chunky salaries. There's sort of uplift of 20, even 40% when it was a real hardship posting. I think I've actually heard that it's not as good now. Is that true?
That's 100% true. I think that the initial attraction of bringing people in and bringing the skilled workforce. I mean, I guess it was like here about 15 years ago. So that hardship of bringing people into the country is going away. So salary is, the increments aren't as high as what they were. They were double digits, 4 years ago or so, and it's hard to come by now.
Along those lines, if we're talking about a property price increase or lots of sales, at least in Abu Dhabi, therefore prices are going up for if you want to buy a house, therefore rents are going up if you want to rent a house. Are the employers upping the ante when it comes to the packages as a consequence? Because a candidate's not going to want to move to Abu Dhabi if his rent or her rent doubles, kind of thing.
100%. There's a big tension. I guess it's the same tension that's in Dubai at the moment, where the rents are at the same levels, I guess. So that's the big push at the moment. The salaries are probably not increasing in line with the inflation of the houses. But now it's more about flexibility. Candidates are asking for housing allowance. They need some flexibility. Career growth's a big thing at the moment. So we're having to negotiate more. And it's not just around pay, but the whole lifestyle offering that Abu Dhabi has.
Okay, so looking ahead, how do you see the recruitment landscape there, I guess, evolving over the next couple of years?
Definitely more competitive. It's going to be more for specialist and strategic roles. Companies won't be hiring just for growth. They'll be hiring for, someone who comes in and transforms. So I expect more talent development internal. I think there's going to be more regional movement and more pressure on firms just to make themselves different, to stand out. So, if I was a candidate, it's no longer about a job. It's about, flexibility, long-term opportunity, and aligning to the roles. So it's going to be a challenge, I believe.
Sounds like a maturing market. Interesting stuff. Jas Sanger, Managing Director of Mackenzie Jones Solutions, based down in Abu Dhabi, one of the sort of top recruitment experts down there. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Really interesting insights there. And as ever, I'm looking for you guys to join the conversation. Are you an Abu Dhabi dweller? Do you love it down there? Do you see it getting busier? Not as bad as Dubai, obviously. Who's moving in? I'd be really interested to get the anecdotal evidence or what Brandy calls from the Business Breakfast proxy data.